right, this will be the last video in the review packet. So as you're working through these, if you're on this page and you're working in order, then great job, and you're almost done. All right, let's take a look at number 1 together. Alex is making candy bags to share with his friends. If he has 7.5 cups of candy and each bag needs half of a cup of candy, how many candy bags can Alex make? All right, so here they gave us this as a fraction, this part as a decimal. So we just did a lesson on dividing decimals with decimals. And what we did is we changed the decimals into whole numbers first, and then we did long division. So let's start there. So we have 7.5 being divided by a half of a cup, right? That's how much is going in one bag of candy. And this is how much total candy we have, how many total cups. And instead of calling it a half as a fraction, I'm gonna write that as a decimal. I'm gonna multiply the top and bottom by 10 in order to change this into a little bit easier division problem. This is gonna be 75 divided by 5. And if you need to, you can always write this as a long division problem. Okay, there's one group of 5 and 7. With 2 left over, bring down the 5, and there are 5 groups of 5 and 25. So with 7.5 cups of candy and each bag getting a half of a cup, I can make 15 bags of candy.
Mommy, what's this? This is what?
Is that from your nose?
Uh-oh.
That's probably from your marker. Okay, just a minute. Let me finish this, okay? All right. Alex's friend Lily loves her candy bag. She eats 2,500 cups of candy, and she splits the rest among her 3 brothers. What fraction of a cup of candy does each brother get? All right, let's start with what we know. So Alex gives one of his friends, Lily, a candy bag, all right? And we know from the previous problem that there's a half of cup in each candy bag, all right? So we know that Lily has half a cup, and she eats a fourth of a cup of the candy. And if you're wondering how I got a fourth, some of you right away know that this decimal is equal to 1/4. And if you don't see that right away, let me just remind you that if we write this as 2,500 as a fraction instead of a decimal, when we simplify this, we can divide both the top and bottom by 25. And so there's where I get my 1/4. Okay? So if Lily has half of a cup and she eats a fourth of a cup, then we have a subtraction problem here. So when subtracting with fractions, we know that we have to have a common denominator. So I'm going to get that first. Instead of 1/2, I'm going to make a new equivalent fraction and call this 2/4 so that I can subtract 1/4. And so if she has a half a cup and she eats a fourth, she's still left with 1/4 of a cup of candy. This is what Lily has left. All right. So we know how much she has left, or what she's going to split among her 3 brothers. So now we have 1/4 being divided by 3. And so I have another fraction problem here, this time dividing with fractions. So I'm going to do that keep, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal. I'm going to keep 1/4. I'm going to change this to multiplication. and I'm gonna flip this whole number into a fraction. And from there I can multiply. And when multiplying with fractions, we just multiply straight across. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 3 is 12. And so each brother gets 1/12 cup of candy. All right, I'm super proud of you guys for going through this review at home, and I'm sorry that I can't be with you, but I hope that this helped. And if there's anything else I can do, or you're working in the packet and you come along something else that you still have questions about, I'm more than happy to do that with you. Okay, so let me know. I'm proud of you guys. Bye.